You know, I think I said this some time ago, but there's always some angles that I just don't ever see the lab or my base in, and this is one of those angles, and it's kind of like pretty plain from this point of view. But welcome back, everybody, to another episode for the Minecraft single player world from the Lone Wolf Survival series. We've done a little bit of renovation going on down here. If you would remember, there used to be a engine right here. For those of you who don't know or maybe somewhat new to the series, this was the research facility that we used to develop the main engines for our spaceship. Which I feel like we need to get out more often because it's been some time since we've soared through the stars a little bit. Actually, you know what? Maybe or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't that long ago. But anyways, what we got going on here is a type of reactor core here. Now, what we're going to use this for is to create radioactive blocks, so to speak. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new set of way of lighting the base. Because at the moment, as you can see, we've got these type of lights going on through here and all throughout the world, and these are powered by the generator that's directly below our feet. And well, you know, when the generator goes out, then we lose all power throughout the base. And one of the things that goes out is the lighting. So what we're going to try to achieve here is a way to maybe radio something like that. These blocks to make them glow more or less, and that way we don't have to worry about these weird circuitries going on throughout our bases. Now, one thing that I did learn about my studies with the radioactive cores is that they have to be cooled, and they have to be cooled constant, kind of like the generator also has to be cooled constantly. But cooling the generator is a little bit more simple than cooling these reactor cores that I have kind of just recently found out. And they need constant, clean, cool water, which is not something that we have going on over there. We've got water that's just ran through the generator, and then it circles back into a tank. It cools off, and then just circles back around. We need constant flow of water, and it needs to be clean, cool water. So that's kind of why we're down here in this little area. We've got two set up, and what we're going to do is we're going to have water being pumped through these little pumps right here, and then they're going to come in, and then they're going to go down, and go right back out into the environment. Actually, just saying that out loud, pumping radioactive waste back into the ocean may not be a good idea. So maybe underneath here we got some type of filtration center thing going on. But for the moment, that's what we got working with. To get a little bit more of understanding what I mean, this right here is our cooling tank, and what it does is it takes water from here, sends it through these pipes, pumps it into the back of the generator here, cools it off, and then it gets filtered back into this holding tank, and this holding tank is where it gets cooled off. Now, the problem with the cooling reactor is we need it to be a constant flow, and it needs to be cool, clean water. But once this water goes through the generator, it's now been contaminated more or less through the combustion and stuff that goes on with that. But with the generator, that doesn't matter. As long as it's cooling the generator, that's all that matters. But with the reactor, it needs to be clean, cool water, and constant flowing. Well, I'm not really too sure where we left off. The squishy little buttholes are still over here annoying the crap out of me, and they seem to just be, they seem to have not left out. But we've got a lot of progress going on here. I've got the core actually activated. We just got some holes in the ceiling, which we're gonna have to do some crazy bits to kind of, work that out here. But at the moment, we just got radioactive fluid flowing through that down there, and we'll have a little cleaning area that's going to go on down here, along with a few other little bits that's going to go on down here. And also, I just noticed this. Well, a little too much there. Maybe we just plug that hole, but I can actually come through and rip this piece out, which is great-ish. That's going to give us a little bit more room to kind of like play with and straighten some stuff out. It seems like when I moved all the buildings over, I did not light this area up. This is where this building actually was originally sitting. Like I said, I've moved it over, And oh wow, those leaves just spawned like right there in front of me. This is going to be really interesting. Get over there. You are not too much to worry about. There we go. All right, that's not going to be that big of a deal. So we'll just kind of light this up, and hopefully we won't have another issue with that. I was hearing them moaning and groaning, and I was like, what in the world is going on right here? Yeah. All right, that's no big deal. Oh, where in the world did you guys just randomly show up in here? Oh. Can you believe that? Dude, I'm in here trying to dig a bigger hole because I got some ideas, and they just showed up out of nowhere. Okay. I mean, I guess that's a it's squishy things. I've got people breaking into my lab. I've got, I never had any of these problems with the other lab. I never once had someone spawn into the other lab. Unless it was dark. That was it. Alright, so I'm not really too sure right where we last left off, but I gotta be honest with you, I gotta take a break from this project. So we got both of the reactor cores set in. This one just still needs to be activated, but the structures here are built. So we got this thing, and we have our mechanism for going to be creating our radioactive lights, if that's what you want to call them. The problem is that, well, we need the materials. You know what I mean? Materials that are subjective to be radioactive. And one thing that I was thinking about is the blaze rod. For those who are unfamiliar, where'd it go? This rod right here. I think this would be a really good material that we could send down into the core to get radioactivized, if that's the word that we want to use, to be able to create like a permanent glowing effect on it. And yes, I know it's safe. It just started to make me nervous. And then we're growing this little plant right here. Okay, it just looked weird. We're growing this little plant right here. I figured that we could use for the base of the rod. So what I have done is I've got a lot of it kind of smelting up here at the moment, although I feel like I should have. Okay, well, that's kind of weird. But the thing I don't have is a way to get those materials, and the only place that we can find them is in that volcanic planet that I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of. Some more materials that I think would be really great to radioactivize is these right here. These, and maybe something else to go around it for like a structure bit of it. But these crystal shards and the little shard pieces, wherever in the world they're at. I know I've got some somewhere, but I think those would make really good materials to send through the radioactivator. I gotta come up with the actual names of this because this is pretty bad. The radioactivator. That's what that thing's going to be called. That's a great name. The radioactivator. That's probably going to be the title for this video, just because. I've also ran into a few more building issues. I'm starting to discover more of these as we go along, but there was an issue I had with the engineering building back here in the back. I'm trying, like I said, I think I said this in the last clip, but I'm very cautious on what I'm doing here because I don't want a repeat of what happened over there. I thought when I built this structure, this lab over here, that everything was, planned pretty well, but there was a lot of hiccups and unforeseen issues I had with it, and I'm trying to avoid those with the underwater lab here. That's why I made everything very modular, as in this bridge right here is a module of itself. I could take this piece and remove it, and it's very repeatable. The buildings all have very specific connection points into them, just so I can easily hook them up to it. But whenever I built this building right here, I made which one was it? It was this one. I made this right here 1 block too wide. So instead of the 3, it was 4, which then threw off the entire plans on the inside. So I had to tear one bit out of it. I had to destroy all this and then rebuild it back with 1 block less. Oh, this thing is going to be the end of me, and I need a break from it, to be honest with you. What are you doing on my roof? Hey, Slim. Friggin' Santa Claus up there. I will say, if you are bringing gifts, could you figure out a way to make my world less laggy? Because it gets jittery sometimes, like really bad. Anyways, I want to pop over here to the adventure room. One thing about our planet is it's very active. The terrain changes a lot, and one thing I did note was that this corner over here it changes a lot. As a matter of fact, the last time I went through it, there was a lot more of this area right here, more of what am I trying to say? More of the mesa that kind of spread it around a little bit more, like you can kind of see it down there. But it also, a lot of this has changed. So what I want to do is I want to go down and kind of just, I don't know, do a little bit more of an exploring, kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. Maybe pop over this side somewhere somehow. I mean, fill these pieces in. That'd be kind of cool. But there's all, you know what? Oh, I need to update this actually really quick. And nope, it's not that one. It's this one. Yeah, there's a little plant right there. You know, one thing that I have always noticed, that I never set this mic in the same place. I'm still trying to work out the perfect spot with it. But, yeah, I mean, I did a little bit of adventuring. There wasn't really nothing too, exciting or anything that happened right that. Basically, I just went and filled out one of the maps. And since now we have the little jetpack on our backs, filling out these is a little bit more simple. Also, I kind of have a little lore idea here. I think these 6 right here should be, if we're breaking, okay, let's break from the lore real quick. Bringing it in, I think this right here, these 6 maps is this is our world, because when we went off and we ventured into that other area with the pink trees and stuff like that, wherever it was that we got sent off to when we got lost in space. Oh, after we were fleeing that one guy, yeah, and then the ship crashed and everything. We were up here somewhere, either this spot or maybe one of these 3 areas. And I don't want the world to be completely overloaded, so I think what we can do is, just for this purpose, this is this world right here, actually this right here, and we still need to venture out on all these areas right here, and then whenever we go to the other planet, which is over there, then then we can start filling that map in. But we're gonna jump back into the lore real quick. But yeah, nothing really going on. I just remembered there's a little thing right there, and there's some cool little island spot things that I might want to build something or something like that. But yeah, all we gotta do is do this little exploration right here, and we'll be all set. But that is it. That's all I got time for you guys today. I'm working on some house renovations. I've got some really big ones planned coming up and things like that. I don't know. I'm going through some things right now in the creative mode, a copy of this version. And but yeah, I think it's gonna be all the time I have for you guys today. This episode again has taken forever. With the trying to make sure that the underwater lab is put together the way that I want it to be put together, and there's no kinks or hiccups like we had over here in the lab. We talked about that earlier in the episode. But that's gonna be it for me. If you guys like this video, please click that like button. If you want to keep me motivated to make more of these, please click to subscribe. At some point we gotta design a new ship with an actual hyperdrive in it, so we can venture out and check out all the other new worlds that we got going around here. But I will catch you guys in the next episode.